Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I am Briareos Kerensky and this is the review of Idolm Platinum Stars, the latest entry in the long-running management rhythm game by Bandai Namco. No, it hasn't. Not yet, I guess. So yeah, don't expect the usual cut-ins in this video, for the big scary Bandai Namco ogre will copyright the hell out of it. I frankly won't even try to recap the story of the Idolm franchise. There are so many video games and related media that I will stumble along the way with imprecisions or downright wrong information, and my exposure to the series is limited to the first X360 game, which I played for maybe an hour, and its latest incarnation on the PS4. Girls featured in Platinum Stars are the group found in the X360 original, as are most of the songs. There are only 5 new teams. Well, only is not exactly right, as each song comes with its own choreography for different groups of girls as well as different voices depending on a girl's position in the selected formation, so those new songs actually have a great deal of work behind them. The total number of songs on the game's disc, ignoring any DLC, is 30. Most songs are fast-paced and upbeat, with a few being more subdued and with a slower tempo. Don't expect downright ballads, but a couple do come close. All songs are catchy and will worm their way through your ears as long as you play the game. I found myself quickly forgetting them once moving to other games, even for a brief period of time. They do provide an excellent base for the rhythming part of Platinum Stars though, so there aren't any major complaints here. The game's called Idolm, so you get exactly what you would expect. Platinum Stars is a more streamlined experience than the X360 original, without as much need to micromanage each girl and focus more on the rhythm game part. As a new producer of the 765 production agency, or more fittingly Namco Pro thanks to Japanese puns, you are tasked to bring the 13 girls the agency currently has on roster to stardom. The game starts by asking to choose one girl and one song, and the more you progress, more positions you'll have to fill in, until you manage the whole roster. Newly appointed girls start at the bottom of idol ranking, but it's easy to bring them up to speed by pairing them with more experienced performers and complete more difficult songs. A small set of items, either bought from the in-game store or received as a gift after a particularly good performance, can increase an idol's experience so that you don't have to retread old grounds too much. Just like girls, new songs become available, allowing for a good deal of variety while climbing the ladder to success. Before choosing a song, you can listen to a short preview, and each song has 4 different input difficulties. You can go through the game by performing at the normal difficulty setting for each song, but even for me and my bad sense of rhythm, the normal setting became boring pretty quickly. The professional level adds D-pad and simultaneous button inputs, giving new life to the slowest songs and making the fastest very engaging and fun to play. To clear a venue you have to reach a certain threshold, and one thing I haven't particularly liked is that this threshold is relatively high and doesn't allow for too many errors, especially in easy mode. A couple of missed inputs can make you fail the stage, as can a song without misses but not enough good or perfect inputs. I found that Idolm Platinum Stars is relatively lenient on input accuracy, and unless you have an even worse sense of rhythm than I have, nailing songs isn't that difficult. The only real comparison I have is Woe and Done, or Elite Beat Agents. Rather than allowing to clear a song with a few errors and not so perfect inputs, Platinum Stars requires a constantly good performance, but its inputs aren't as troublesome as on the DS games. I would have preferred a more relaxed approach, like clearing a song with just a series of good inputs, rather than aiming for near perfection and then further appeasing the crowd with the right accessories and costumes. The other part of Platinum Stars is managing idols, their time schedules, training, insecurities and looks. Right from the start you can choose a girl's costume and between few accessories. I still haven't understood every little nuance of the system, but songs and venues, I think girls as well, belong to one of three styles: cute, cool and cosmic. Matching outfits and accessories for the song is actually a huge boost for the crowd, and the game is kind enough to point out that. It's still possible to clear stages with mismatched outfits and songs, but it's very hard and requires well-trained girls and perfect inputs. The game actually requires for you to constantly check your idol's attire and match them for the upcoming performance, and thankfully the interface is friendly enough to go through all this process for every song without too much fuss. Outfit and accessories combinations can be saved, further ease in the process. New outfits and accessories are unlocked as girls get more popular, and must be either bought at the Namco Pro Store or are received as gifts from fans. Duplicate items can be combined together to improve their level for enhanced effects, though it's important to keep an eye on a few things. Money, because combining items is expensive, and items and girls level. If the item level is higher than the girl, the item will have the opposite effect instead. Rather than having girls dance and sing, it's possible to send them to a series of fun events, like promoting a CD or interviews, to increase their public appeal and get some money. Money can be spent on training, which takes form in a series of mini-games depending on the training type. Makeup training is a memory game, acting training requires to hit the correct boxes, and so on. Before or after certain events, you'll need to interact with the girls by selecting one of three answers or shaking their hands. Answers are selected with the face buttons, while hand motions are assigned to the DualShock 4's touchpad. Talking to girls has been greatly downsized from the X360 original, which can be an improvement for non-Japanese speakers, but I'd say it removes a bit of personality from the game. It also removes that level of uncertainty associated with answers summarized in one line that you don't really know where they'll go, so I'm a bit torn on this choice. The addition of touchpad inputs don't do much for the game, but thankfully enough developers didn't go overboard with it, and the use of the touchpad is limited to simple presses and swipes. After training or fun events, you are asked to manage a girl's timeline with a simple minigame where you balance dices with the pad. Higher numbers will make events more effective. Girls have two different levels. Their own level, based on the number of performances and training they did, and their idol level, improved by undertaking quote-unquote idol exams that pop up after a certain number of events. As the idol level rises, more fans will join in increasingly better locations. At specific moments the whole agency will come together for a special festa, where you'll have to direct different stages featuring all the girls in a series of live performances. These festa usually end with an ensemble of all 13 girls with a special song and matching costumes. In addition to this, after every song it's possible to play with cameras and special effects should you want to bask in your girl's glory without worrying about button prompts. I'm honestly surprised at how well all these elements flow together. The various minigames add a good deal of variety to your activities, and deciding which girl should get your attention, what she should do, and what the agency as a whole needs is actually very captivating, and what I thought would have been quick 1-hour sessions with a couple of songs and some training became one more activity sessions with continually reduced bedtime for me. Platinum Stars is the right mix between rhythm and management games that never goes too deep into one of the two fields, but successfully merges the two into a hard-to-resist game that can really draw you in. After a short while I stopped caring about how the songs sound like, and I was more interested in reaching a certain point with someone or get all those inputs right. The game, just like the songs, really knows to keep players interested as long as they are playing the game. I can't say I was drawn to Platinum Stars over other titles, but when I played it, I was really sucked into. Technically, Idolmaster Platinum Stars isn't exactly impressive. Girls' movements have been motion captured and so animations look great, but the models themselves aren't particularly complex, with lip syncing not receiving the level of attention it should have had. During songs it's almost there, but when interacting, voices and lip movements aren't, something that you cannot turn a blind eye to. Lighting is very basic, even during concerts. Smoke and particle effects do add something to these events, but resolution aside, you wouldn't say this is a game running on a PS4. Backgrounds are even worse, especially because some are 3D, some are 2D. A few 2D backgrounds are markedly more pixelated, as they were just scaled from previous sources and not properly redrawn. On the bright side, the interface is very user-friendly, as mentioned before, and loading times are short. The audio makes use of surround setups, though the rear channels are usually left almost untouched, with voices coming from the center channel and everything else from the front stereo speakers. Idolmaster Platinum Star successfully merges aspects of rhythm and management games in a very likable package, although it never ventures to the extreme ends of its main components. If you are just a bit interested, it won't hurt to try this one out. I hope you have enjoyed this review and you'll stick around for more. Briareos Kerensky, over and out.